No, because if one more man says no drama in his bio, I already know he caused a breakup at brunch. I already know it. You ever look back at a friendship and think, damn, I really treated you like family, and you treated me like an inconvenience? Yeah, let's talk about that. Because here's the thing about some friendships, and I say this with a love, but a little sprinkle of resentment. Sometimes we build these really deep, soul bonded connections and pretend they're casual when they stop being convenient. Like we trauma bonded over all the same stupid brown kid politics, and now you're ghosting me because I asked you to be accountable. Sounds stupid to me. And while we're here, can we, and by we, I mean you all, because this would never be me, stop giving loser men the lead roles in your lives? Like, I'm sorry, if he's emotionally unavailable, vaguely spiritual, and owns a harness and a projection screen, he's not your soulmate, mama. He's a pop-up notification, swipe away. These men will give you 6 months of what are we vibes, 2 weeks of crumbs, and then a two paragraph apology that starts with, you deserve better, and hope you're doing well. Well, I am doing well, bitch. I blocked you, and I bought myself some flowers, bitch. And don't get me started on the fidgety gay community. The body shaming, the mask for mask nonsense, the unspoken caste and class politics of who gets to be seen, who gets to be centered, and who gets to be desired. I did not survive colonial, internalized homophobia or biphobia, and the trauma of being the only bisexual brown kid in all of his AP classes, just to feel like I'm back in high school on Grindr. It's called community. It's not an exclusive club with abs or white walls. So here's my hot take. Being queer doesn't mean that you're automatically kind, emotionally literate, or even inclusive. You actually have to work on that, and you have to unlearn, check yourself, apologize, and show up just like every fucking buddy else. Pride isn't just a month or a dance floor or an aesthetic or rainbow flags, all that yada, yada, yada. It's actually how we love each other when no one's watching. More importantly, how do we love ourselves when no one's watching? So to the ex-friends, I have a lot of them, to the the emotionally unavailable men, I have a lot of those, and the gatekeepers of cool gay culture, we have a lot of those here in Southern California. I'm fucking tired. My chai, which is now a cold brew, is hot because it's melted. My standards are high, and my tolerance for bullshit is officially caffeine-free, unless you're this cold brew. So welcome to Chimey River. I'm your host, Shane Lamba, where today we're going to really burn tongues. We're going to burn some bridges on today's episode, which is called Hot Chai and Hot Takes, even though my chai is cold. I'm going to be a little unhinged, which I always am. I'm going to be a little bit unfiltered, which I always am, about dating culture, being brown aesthetics, hustle glamour, and give you a little sprinkle of hot chai takes. So grab your chai, grab your hot coffee, grab something, and let's get into it. So this first segment, which I wanted to start with, is called No Fats, No Femmes, and No Personality. We all have been there, done that, experienced it, where we have been part of the dating scene or just even the friendship scene. Honestly, nowadays, people are so callous and shallow that gay friends and just queer friends in general, which is really shitty for me to have to say. And I know people are going to go in the comments and they're going to say, well, that means you just need to have better friends, Shane. Honestly, you're probably right. But I do have a really good set of friends. And this is more so a reflection of the friends that I used to have back in the day, or some of the friends that I wanted to have more so. Let's be candid about it. We know that a lot of the times we want to center ourselves in this bubble of excellence, in this bubble of desirability, especially when we're a person of color, especially when we're brown, and especially when the rules were never written for us, right? We have to adapt. So I kind of want to start with the concept of like preference versus internalized bias, right? This hot take, right? Why the fuck do we even have this as an issue? Why is there a preference in our gay community? And why are there internalized biases, right? It's really shitty, but let's get to it, right? Preferences really come from this personal experience and desire, right? Something that you might like in a person, which is obviously usually like a physical characteristic, right? And then we have these internalized biases, which are actually harmful, right? And the biggest internalized bias, which people probably know of, is internalized homophobia, right? Similarly, internalized racism, for those who are not part of the LGBTQ community who are listening in. Those are kind of like two internalized biases. These biases really fuck up our mental health. Yeah, they really do. Not only do they mentally fuck us up, they actually socially screw us over as well, right? They create this almost predicament that not predicament, sorry, precedent that gay people are bad or people of color are bad because of the loathing nature that we have, as well as the hatred towards each other. Consciousness, though, arises honestly in both these pieces, right? Preferences are usually more easily relatable, more easily recognized, versus these internalized biases often operate under our subconscious and permeate within our own mental health and our own mental well-being. So why am I even talking about this, and why did I even bring it up? Honestly, I'm trying to remember myself, which is why I'm using my cue cards, which is my handy dandy laptop. But I think what's important and why I'm bringing it up is it's important for us to call these things out within our LGBTQ plus community, but also within our society, right? These colonial ideas still permeate and they still dominate in our everyday life. And I'll give you an example, right? Everyone's been on the dating apps where they see these beautiful bios, these beautiful, big, beautiful bios, just like the big, beautiful bill. Repulsive. No Asians, no fats, no femmes, no hairy guys, no sissies, only mask for mask. Honestly, loser behavior, if I have to say so myself. Pretty loser of a guy, pretty loser of a person to have to put these things out there. You know, I think the one thing that I have, this is my personal opinion about these preferences and biases and stuff like that. Everybody has them. At the end of the day, we all have these problems, preferences, selection factors, criterion that we are interested in. And we really end up putting it on ourselves, right? Meaning when we actually have these preferences, some of them are okay, right? Like I usually like shorter people, shorter guys, right? Or shorter girls. That's because I'm tall. Not everyone likes short people, so they like to have a tall guy or a tall woman, right? Blah, blah, blah. So those types of preferences are, I think, in my opinion, okay. When it comes to pitting and picking and choosing a racial group, an ethnic group, characteristics that sometimes you really can't control yourself. I know height is something that you obviously can't control, but some of these physical, socially constructed characteristics, that's where we kind of have a problem, right? And I think the real issue is, and this is my hot take, this is my hot chai, okay? You can have some of these preferences and not put them out there, like written, so for someone else to see, for someone else to screen cap, for someone else to, share with the world and talk shit about you online or in person. You can have them, right? We all have preferences. We all have likes and desires and wants of people that we want to date or be with in different ways. That doesn't mean you have to put them out there, right? Like you can also like play a little bit of a game and keep them to yourself, right? If you see somebody that you don't like them. Why you got to put your whole biodata, for the Indians watching, biodata online for people to really go through and tease apart and figure out who and what type of person you are? But I guess in a way, it also saves people from, wasting their fucking time. Because, I mean, dating in any century nowadays feels like, or any city, sorry, nowadays feels like a fucking mishap. Feels like it shouldn't even exist. Feels like dating shouldn't even be a thing. Um, while I say this while I am dating somebody. But, the answer goes that honestly, play it by your choice. Play it by your perspective, what you want to put out there, but know that there's a consequence for every action that you do, right? I think the real issue, though, is it's not about being, soft, femme, Asian, hairy, fat, etc. That's actually the problem. It's the idea that your desirability is colonial thinking, right? It's colonized. It's white forward. It's Eurocentric forward, because we have been told as a community, as a society, that white is right, and if you're not white, you're nothing, which is really shitty. But those are literally feelings and sentiments that I've had in my life. I don't know what about other people have had, what other people have been told, what other people have experienced, but that is literally something that I have felt in my earlier years as a younger teenager, and then as an adolescent to a young adult. Those are things that I've kind of internalized through our society to actually think about myself, right? And also, it's not wrong of me to feel that way after this many years, because it's also what people put their actions towards. People are acting in this nature that pushes this white is right mentality, or pushes this perspective that you need to be Eurocentric, otherwise we don't care about you, right? It happens again on the dating apps, it happens in real life, it happens in queer spaces, and it happens even in the general public. So how do we really move past that? That is the real question. I think we need to challenge it, right? We need to speak up. We need to be fucking for real, or BFFR. And we need to stand our ground. And also step our pussies up. Get a job. Suck dick. But yes, let's sit with that while we transition to this next segment, which is just going to be hot chai takes. Okay, we are back for segment 2, which is going to be called Hot Chai Takes. But for this segment, because I'm petty, I'm going to take my glasses off, and I'm going to put my reading glasses. And they're not prescription, so I really can't see. So I just zoomed in on my laptop, everything on all my talking points for 150%, because I am that girl. So we're going to start with this first hot take, which I was kind of conjuring from social media, online network, blah, blah, blah. The first hot take is straight pride festivals are just clout chasing. Now let's break this down. Straight pride, particularly that one that happened in Boise, Idaho, is such a garbage disposal, romper room fuckery, like a Mama Latrice Royale has said, because it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. The concept or the notion that there needs to be a straight pride is vehemently evil. When the whole fucking time, the whole world, every day is basically straight pride, right? Heterosexuality, heteronormativity is the norm of society in this day and age. Although gay people, LGBTQ plus people are steadfastly increasing in the percentage of the population, I think it's about 8 to 10% nowadays, it's still not like a big majority, right? We're still a pretty slim minority. And then on top of that, add all your other intersections of being person of color, being a woman, being gender nonconforming. Gender is not really real anymore, right? Being person living with a disability, all those other characteristics, they actually limit you even more. So the population just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. But as a large community, we're about 8 to 10% of the population. But I think they're just scared. What do you think? I think they are really, really scared at being a minority, seeing people thrive, seeing people live authentically, and also not be scared anymore, and being plagued that, you're being gay, you're basically going to have HIV, right? And die of AIDS, right? I mean, that whole shenanigan is still existing. People do get HIV. But now management of those infections are much more rapid, in the sense that it is more of a maintenance type of prescription and medicine, instead of a death sentence like it was in the 80s and the 90s, right? So God bless the pharmaceutical industry for creating those medicines, but also fuck them for making them so expensive, and also fuck them and fuck the US government for making it be that we have to rely on block grants and such large funding from the government to allow people just to be healthy and safe and living in their well-being. But yeah, I think the straights are basically scared. I think they're scared. I think they just really want some attention. I think they want attention, right? They really want some of that. They just want to be liked, because now they know that they really have nothing going for them. I mean, what are we going to celebrate during Straight Pride? Magnolia and Hearth. What is it called at Hearth? Magnolia Gates. I'm sorry, no shade to that bitch, but what are we going to celebrate? Target? Because Target's not gay anymore. Might as well just be a straight person store. Walmart? I mean, never see a gay person in Walmart. I'm sorry. You'll never see a gay person in Walmart. Yes, you will see gay people in Target, maybe nowadays, but there's no DEI anymore, right? So fuck gay people, fuck black people, fuck all the brown bitches, fuck women. That's basically what they're trying to say. So I think it's just about clout chasing. They want the limelight because they're bored. They're bored, honey. They need to be re-entered into society in some sort of way. So they think having a parade, having a festival is going to do it. Bitch, that's not what Pride's about. Pride is not about just having a festival and having a parade. Pride is an everyday practice. Pride is a riot. Pride was a protest. For the girly pops who are listening who didn't know that it was a protest, and for the straight heterosexuals that are listening who didn't know that it was a protest, it was a protest. Yes, it was a protest against the public, against society, against cops, against the institutions that institutionalized the homosexuals, right? So listen up, step your pussies up unless you're straight. Just tamper that shit down, because we don't want to be clout chasing you anymore. The second hot take of today, and I really can't see, I'm just looking that way, but I'm angling my head so it looks at the camera, is recession pop is the new escape. Everyone's been throwing around this term recession pop, and I honestly don't really know what it fucking means, aside from the fact that we might be in a recession, because everything's so fucking expensive. But I think it comes to the fruition of the pop girlies like Sabrina Carpenter, Addison Rae, obviously Gaga, we love Mother, Charlie XCX, right? All these people that I've been honestly obsessed with. So clearly, I'm a fidgety. But all these girly pops have been putting out this new music, been putting out this sexy music, honestly. I kind of two hot takes in one, right? So the recession pop is the new escape, but then pop music is getting sexy again, and it's very Y2K, it's very 2000s vibey, right? We got Pink Pantheress. For those girly pops who like Pink Pantheress, I've been obsessed with her Fancy That album that just came out. And when it's stateside, I cannot get enough of that bitch. And then Gaga Mayhem, I keep saying I'm going to do a whole episode about Gaga, but I really need somebody to do it with. So if you want to be interviewed, or you want to talk shit on Chimey River, please message me. I would love to have a co-interviewer or someone to talk to about Mayhem and Gaga and just the beauty of Lady Gaga. But I think they're making this recession pop actually because we're all depressed. We're all depressed. I mean, look at the state of our country. CUNTRY. Country. It's not a homeland anymore. It's not a homeland. It's honestly, I can't even say the words for that, but it's not a homeland. We need to do something in our society to really be a better society. Honestly, be a better country. So I think it's because we're all depressed. We like that sexy 2000s vibe R&B poppy music that brings us back to a time that was much better than it is now, right? Another hot take is corporate pride bailouts are gaslighting. I don't know if folks noticed it, and I talked about this actually in my last episode, which is Pride in Myself. Definitely check it out. Where I noticed that there were not a lot of corporate pride involvements. And I know pride was never corporate. It's supposed to be anti-capitalist. I'm going to get the little girly pops in the comments and sending me little messages, talking shit to me. I know that. I'm not saying shit. But what I mentioned in my last episode was I like the free shit. I like the free shit that they give. I like things given to me. I'm not a receiver. I'm usually giving the issues to people, but I like things to be given to me. So if I don't see that at Pride, I'm not going. I'm just joking. I still went. But I just think that it's kind of like a gaslighting scenario where all this time and all these years, right, in the making, right? When you think about big companies, Google, all the tech companies, Amazon, a lot of the organizations here in Southern California as well, Scan, there's another one, Alignment Health, Ultimed, those healthcare institutions that we have here, often they're usually at Pride. They're usually like boothing, they're giving stuff, they're talking about their healthcare system, right? And how it can be LGBTQ plus centered and yada, yada, yada. But really, I felt like because they were not here this year, I didn't notice it that much in LA and WeHo Pride. I didn't go to other prides, but those are the only two really so far. I didn't see them there, and it kind of makes you think that they were just lying to us the whole time, right? They were just putting on a face to act like brand new, but essentially they were just like never really into our interests to begin with, right? So it's kind of like sad shit. If you think about it, it's a sad truth, but it is gaslighting at the end of the day. So fuck those corporations for gaslighting us. Another hot take would be Project 2025 would dismantle LGBTQ plus rights if it goes through. It's already kind of preliminarily going through. I really didn't want to talk too much about this, but I saw it as I was scrolling on my social media feed, and I thought to myself, we're really in a shithole. So I need everybody to step their pussies up, stand up, get their phones. My phone's recording, so I can't do this right now, and go look up their congressman or congresswoman, congressperson, House of Representative, go to their mayor, go to their city council, write a letter. Let's write a letter. Dear Mr. Hampton, I am a white woman. Just joking. I am a brown boy asking for solidarity with us. Period. That's all you got to say. I don't know. Talk about things about your personal life. Talk about it. If you choose whatever you want, do it. But really, we need to get involved in politics. We talk about the politics, and I talked about this before, right? I said the politics of being queer, the politics of being brown, all this shit, yada, yada, yada. But we never actually think about the civic engagement, the politics of actually living our lives, right? Politics of fitting in is always going to be there. Whether you're 16, 25, 50, 90 years old on your deathbed, that politics of fitting is probably always going to be there. Hopefully by 90 and you're dying, you're not actually having that issue, but it's going to still be there. It's still going to be present in this society because that's how society works. And the last one would be another gaslighting comment. The hot take of LGBTQ plus book bans are quietly gaslighting kids. We're basically telling, and we're, not us, the girly pops who are watching this are not those bitches, but we're, meaning the Republicans, the conservatives, the anti-LGBTQers, basically the obsession finders, right? The stalkers, the people that actually are so into our community but are not our community members, want to ban these books that have, I don't know, not much going for them aside from the fact that they're just telling stories about two moms or two dads or a kid with a gay friend or something like that. They're nothing different than what we already see. So why are they banning it? Why are they gaslighting these kids to make them feel like they don't even exist? Let me say that again. Why are they gaslighting these kids to make them feel like they don't even exist? Everybody knows that when you see yourself, you can feel yourself being proud and you can feel strength in that when you see yourself on TV. On TV, in books, in media, in art, in music, any type of medium, when you see yourself represented, you are going to feel strong about yourself. And if we don't instill that now as kids, for our children, for everything, I don't have children, but I believe that children are our future, and children are the ones who are going to be changing things when we're all gone, right? Also, they're going to change the way society works, right? If younger people are more open and accepting about LGBTQ plus people, when they're kids, imagine when they become our age in their 20s and 30s, how amazing that world would be for them. So I just think it's really sad that we have adults, grown men and women, mostly men, because again, they're the fucking creeps. But I'm gonna throw the women under the bus too, because they're stupid as fuck as well. Going to these city councils to ban these books. Maybe y'all should ban yourselves from being part of that city council group. Maybe you should ban your fucking stanky ass pussy when you walk in the doors of the fucking city hall. Maybe you should ban your fucking nasty ass, trifling ass husband from walking in the school doors, knowing that he's creeping and looking at all these kids. Ban that bitch. Ban it. Sorry, I got heated. It's also because I can't see. So I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Melted and warm because I said it's hot. And we're going to move into the next segment as I take my glasses off and put on my actual prescription reading glasses. So now, on this third segment of Booked, Busy, and Burnt the Hell Out, we're going to drag hustle culture a little bit, right? I mean, it's good to hustle. It's good to be proactive. It's good to be, aspiring for more, wanting more. But I'm going to say one fucking thing. You're not busy. You're just emotionally unavailable. Period. Right? I loathe bitches. Loathe. I'm going to say it. I don't care. I hate when people say they're so busy, that they don't have time, and then you see them going out partying. You see them going out having a ball. You see them going on dates, knowing that they shouldn't be going on dates because they got $5 to their bank account, but they're going on dates because they want free money. They want a free meal, mama. That's what they've been told. So they're busy, but they're emotionally unavailable because they're going out with these guys or girls. Most of the time, though, it's the gay boys who are going out with the men, or well, really they're boys at the end of the day, who are getting a free meal, getting a free drink, getting a free something because they're busy. Mama, shut the fuck up. Stop being busy like that. That's not good for your health. It's not good for your mental health. And it's also not good for your friendships. Also, self-care isn't another goal. It's not just a bullet journal. Self-care should be something that you're always doing, right? It's not something that we have to go to therapy to learn from a therapist or a psychiatrist to tell us that we should be doing it. We should always be doing some sort and form of self-care. What do people do for self-care? I would love to know. Drop them in the comments. Tell me via messages. I love reading. And you might be wondering what he's going to read. I like reading fiction books. I also like reading nonfiction, but I also enjoy reading like academic articles because I feel like I get like a 2-for-1. I get to learn something that's unique, a different study that someone's done, and also, it broadens my understanding of science and healthcare and etc. I also like going to the gym. I know that sounds cliche, but I really do like working out because for me, it's more about like focusing and zoning out everything around me and just focusing on myself, focusing on the way I'm working out and what I'm doing. And then also yoga, super obviously cliche, another answer. Maybe I am the problem. But those are kind of a few of the things. And also cooking. I love cooking. I think cooking for yourself is a form of self-care. Not everyone knows how to cook. Not everyone can cook. So being able to do that in my own place, in my own space like this is very rewarding. But let's talk a little bit about, I was saying booked, busy, and burnt the hell out. We're all burnt out right now. I mean, I am so burnt that I'm browner than brown than I usually am on my skin tone. But I'm also emotionally burnt out, I think, from work. I'm emotionally burnt out from everything that's going on in the world. I'm emotionally burnt out from seeing my friends feel like their parents are going to be picked up one by one by a government organization that keeps things cold and is really spewing hate and spewing racism and spewing and ripping families apart, which is really disgusting. So fuck them. I also am very burnt out from thinking all this time in the last couple of months that I was going to lose my job, when in reality now things may have changed and I'm not going to lose my job. But then also seeing some of my coworkers lose their jobs or colleagues in the same organization who do similar-ish type of work, but not the same type of work that was targeted by those executive orders of diversity, equity, inclusion. I'm also emotionally burnt out and mentally burnt out from working in potentially the government or for the government. I took a lot of pride and I take a lot of pride in being able to work for the government, but also knowing that it might not be the right route and right place for me to be right now. I'm kind of burnt out. I'm also burnt out from being brown. Burnt out because embedded in myself, even though my parents and my family really never put these expectations on me, I put them on myself because I'm a dumb bitch. But feeling like I'm not doing enough and I'm not beating myself to the finish line with enough power and ambition because of everything that's going on. I don't feel like I can do that, right? So I'm feeling burnt out. I mean, I don't know if other people are feeling this way, and I know that I'm sure that I'm not alone in this sense because some of these feelings are very cerebral, they're very residual, and they're very apparently happening in my communities and the communities across the country. I think another thing that's kind of keeping me busy is honestly like trying to find a new role, trying to find a new gig. But also I think about what's burning me out is maybe this, is it my brown, immigrant guilt? Is it my brown guilt that my Indian guilt, my Desi guilt, right? I mean, for any Desi people, any Indian people watching this, or brown people coming from Asia, Asian people watching this, we know the struggle. We know the guilt and the perceived notion of needing to be the best that we can be, being asked, when are we getting married? Being asked, who are you dating? Oh, why aren't you dating anyone? Oh, you are so handsome. People should be dating you. Blah, blah, blah. Like it fucking works in a blink of a snap of a finger, blink of an eye. These Auntie G's and these uncles and these family members, they really need to learn something about this world and this new decade. Not everybody does this in their dating life immediately, right? I mean, it takes time, it takes nurturement, and it takes something that a lot of these other Indian bitches don't know, love. And I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you're one of those Indian bitches, but like sometimes I wonder, I'm feeling burnt out in this sense, but why are my Indian peers, my Indian colleagues, my Indian friends so rushed in their mindsets to get married so fast? What is it? Is it the dual income? Because I know y'all bitches are broke. Is it that? Or is it the emotional security? Is it the emotional need or the baggage that you want to just like throw off after getting with somebody? Is it the opportunity to say fuck you to your parents and your family and like stop having them nag you? I really want to know. So if you're Indian and if you're a bitch and you got married, please let me know below because I'm very, very curious. I don't have a lot of Indian friends, and maybe I'm the reason why. I mean, look at me. But I just really am curious about that. I'm very, very curious about this question. So, if you're brown, if you're queer, if you're burnt out, you're not alone. You can always rely on me. You're extra bisexual, extra burnt out, Desi Indian man. So, always can reach me. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me at Chimey River, because that is why I'm here. That is why I made this video. And that is why we're going to be best friends. So go grab another chai, go grab another coffee, and we're going to kind of cool it down in this last segment. This last segment, I just want to, have a cool down. I think sometimes I get a little heated. I get a little into it. But I want to reiterate the fact that, these hot takes are fun. I'm really just talking shit because I like to talk shit. And honestly, I feel like coffee makes me talk shit. Also, a little plug. If you have the opportunity and you're in Orange County, please go try Keen Coffee. They have a couple of locations. I'm not sponsored. This is not even an ad. But if Keen Coffee, if you're listening and if Keen Coffee would love to sponsor me, I would love that. I would love that. I would love to have Keen Coffee every single day that I'm doing this show because that would be really cool. But also, I love their coffee and I just love their environment that they have at the coffee shops and just a really nice like opportunity to like get some local coffee around Orange County. So check out Keen. This was just a cold brew, but there can be more options. But again, like I was saying, these hot takes are fun, but really, I think the drama is really sometimes people just wanting to feel seen. Like, honestly, I think people just were dropped like as a child and they were not paid too much attention to. And that's the fucking opposite for me. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that much. I'm an only child, so all the attention was on me. It was like, it was on me because I was the only child. Now, I don't know if that's the case for most Indian people who are only children, but that was the case for me. Granted, I grew up in a very different type of family structure. Again, third generation. So a lot of Western type of characteristics, very Canadianized, Americanized, Indianized, like upbringing where, maybe that wasn't always that I had to be analyzed and almost circumvented and like focused on, zoomed in on for my grades, right? I was already excelling in school. I never was really about being an A+ student, being this like honor roll student. I just felt like I wanted to be that person because I wanted to make sure that I got out of the situation of not being educated. I wanted to make sure that I promoted myself to become educated on whatever type of topic, whatever type of inquiry of school that I wanted, right? But I do think that that's always not the case, right? And I think for me, when I went to college, when I went to university, I got a reality check. The reality check was, oh shit, you're not the only smart bitch here. Oh shit, Asian people are not the only smart people here. Actually, everyone aside from being the Asians are actually probably, if not more, smarter than them. It's just I lived in this Bay Area bubble where predominantly, there's a large proportion or percentage of Asian people and the stereotypes that go along with it, right? Like how I was talking about internalized biases in the beginning. The stereotypes about being Asian is that we are smart, is that we're nerdy, is that we're overachievers, but that's always not the case, right? Really, that's rooted in the model minority myth. And that actually gets predisposed onto us as Asian people, as Indian people, to be this really strong, rooted, mathematical, nerdy, geeky, like brainiacs, when sometimes we just want to do things that might flex our muscles, flex our muscles in the artistic way, in a more of a non-traditional science or STEM way. So I think it really just depends on, again, the type of upbringing that you have. But it was really a strong reality check for me when I got into college that, I was not the smartest person there anymore. And it, humbled me. And it also made me realize that I didn't need to be the smartest person because I'm smart in my own ways. But, I think, again, getting back to this kind of concept of people want to be seen, I think the drama of it all comes from that they're not focused on enough as children. They're not focused on growing who they want to be. Instead, they're told who they should be. And that's very common in my community, in the Indian Asian community, that kids are told from the get-go from their parents, because their parents think that it's fucking good for them, to be who they want them to be, not who the child wants to be themselves. And that's a shame on our Asian culture. That's a shame on any culture that does that to their kids. They should allow them to grow into whatever they want to be. And it should be the parents' job to teach them as kids, teach them the responsibilities, the morals, the values, to actually take any of those things, abstract or not, and apply it to their everyday life. That's my little hot take, cool down, sipper, okay? that people need drama in their lives to feel. Ugh. People need drama in order to feel seen. No, mama. You need to feel seen from the get-go. So stand your pussies up, step your pussies up, get a job, suck a dick, and go to school. So now, I know I've been rambling and bambling and shambling on. Shangela, again, a reminder, whether you're loud, soft, brown, femme, or full of feelings, because, I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of feelings. Your existence isn't too much. Just don't be a drama queen. Okay? That's point blank, period. Because we've talked enough about the drama queens this whole episode, about the straights, about the heteros, about the LGBTQ plus book banners who need to ban themselves, who need to ban their stanky pussies from walking in the school doors, from walking in the city hall, from walking in their workplace, from walking honestly into restaurants. We learned that the drama queens are pervasive in the federal government. You know who I'm talking about. We know the real drama queens, the real nasty, ugly drama queens are the ones who are icing people out. So F them. And we know that we know that we're never too much, because as LGBTQ plus people, we're always evolving, we're always growing. Also, as people of color, as Indian people, as Desi people, as brown people, we're evolving, we're growing. So we're never too much. We just need to find where we can be enough. And that is always the hardest thing to do. So I invite y'all to tell me a little bit about your spiciest takes. I'm very curious, and maybe I'll read them in the next episode. I would love to read them and just comment on them and have people engage, because I'm trying to do this more where I make a video, where I make some sort of recording and video recording, because I think it engages a different group of audience members. So definitely keep with it, subscribe, and follow me at Chimey River on Spotify and Apple, wherever you stream, as well as my YouTube channel where this video is posted, as well as my TikTok, which is chai.me.a.river, essentially the podcast name with dots in between. And I'm very much looking forward to connecting and hearing your comments and thoughts. But as we depart, as our chai gets finished-ish almost, until next time, stay hot, stay hydrated, and don't trust a man with a lacy button-down shirt and no bookshelf. Wait, that's me. Until next time, take care. Bye, everyone.